If you sell an info product, posting this one type of video can add you up to $30,000 per month. And no, I'm not just talking to talk. You can see with the channels on the screen right now how we're getting thousands of views, but also collecting thousands of dollars in cash. This is just YouTube revenue right here, but we're talking on the back end of the sales, collecting tens of thousands of dollars and generating our clients over 6 figures. And there's more videos right here which go on to generate our clients multiple 6 figures. And in this video, I'm breaking down the entire step-by-step process so you can recreate the same type of video for yourself, but also I'm going to be breaking down live examples from scripts right here and also the ideas that I use to make these videos. So unless you hate making money, let's lock in. So first things first, I do not want to BS you. The type of video that we're going to be creating is a YouTube VSL. But technically all the videos that you create on YouTube are VSLs, but this specifically is going to be either a My Story video, a free course, or a mix of the two. And I just created one right here for our recent client named Rayston in the dropshipping niche. And we did a mix of a My Story video and a free course. And as you can see, he's gained nearly 200 subscribers and nearly 7K views at this point. And also the other YouTube content that we're creating through our funnel, which I'm about to break down for you right now before we actually move into how you can do it yourself. So how does this funnel work? And I want to be able to, visualize it out for you. So essentially how I think of things is, first of all, you're gonna have this YouTube VSL be at the front of your channel, being the channel trailer, and also a video if people want to are coming back to your channel, they want to see, you want this video to be at the top of your channel. And essentially it comes down to having the VSL be the top of your funnel, and then it goes to top of funnel content, middle of funnel content, and bottom of funnel content. And essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to get all this traffic here in the VSL and then basically move people down into middle funnel and bottom funnel content. If someone comes to your channel because of top of funnel content or middle funnel content or bottom funnel content, we also then want to drive them back to watching the VSL, because this is actually what's going to convert them to book a call down here, which is this is how you're going to be able to get your money's worth. So that's how the funnel actually works. And how we're doing this, obviously you have to create the video. I'm going to break down how you should actually be creating the video, but you want to have essentially this YouTube VSL be the top of your description, and also you can use it in the pinned comment section on your videos. And using that same funnel is a reason why we're able to add the growth partner $115,000 in just 115 days. And the system came down to, obviously, one, driving traffic back to the VSL, but the second way that we got people into the funnel was by having case study videos, which essentially is bottom of funnel content. And we basically took the traffic from those case studies back to the VSL. And then third was just how-to videos. So this is going to be a mix of top and middle of funnel content. The highest thing that made us the most amount of money was driving the traffic back to the YouTube VSL on YouTube. Even though they were running a little bit of paid ads to this, it still generated the highest amount of revenue. So although we did not create this video right here, I just wanted to make that clear. We didn't create this video right here, but the ones that you saw previously, I did create those from scratch. I'm going to break down the process of how you can create it yourself. So first things first, it comes down to the idea. Are you going to go with a story, or are you going to do a free course? Or are you going to do or are you going to do a mix of both of them? In this video here, they have a mix of both. It really depends on literally what would be your competitive edge. What will, allow your audience to actually convey to what you're saying, what's going to best bleed through your content to actually get them to buy your stuff. If you do have a unique story or a unique angle like they do that you want to leverage, how we went from blank to blank, you can use a My Story format, then add a little bit of a free course into it. I think it's very effective, and it's what I've done recently. But we also have free courses like this one here where we only talk about the story a little bit in the hook, and then the rest is just a free course. And the same thing here, it's just a free course, just talking about what our client is good at. So I'd say it really depends on the angle and what you want to do there. So when you're coming up with your idea, just decide, are you going to go with a mix of both, or just a free course, or just a My Story video? If you do a My Story video though, you still want to share your business opportunity and position it in a way that people are going to be enticed to buy. And once you have your idea, the next thing that you want to do is obviously focus on the hook of this video, because that's going to be the main important thing. And the hook comes down to a few points that you really want to hit if you want to be able to gather that audience to actually want to stick on your video. Because a lot of people are tired of watching these long VSLs, or they see a video and they can immediately feel that you're trying to sell to them. So you want to hit these things in a very subtle way that's that makes them want to watch the video and see you as a human. So what I do when I'm kind of mapping out a hook of a video, I'm going to show you live examples here soon, is first things first, you want to pinpoint what objections am I going to have to deflect here in my hook that's going to make them want to watch the video. What's going to separate me from all the other creators, course sellers, people that do the same thing as me? What's going to separate me from them? always position towards the pains and desires of, what my ICP really wants. And the ICP is just your ideal customer profile. Then you want to leverage social proof. So drop social proof. You're not going to flex like case studies or testimonials yet, but leveraging social proof can just be, talk about how much money you've made doing this thing, or your craziest win, etc., etc. And then last but not least, set plans for the video. What are they going to get? What are they going to receive by watching this video? Education content on YouTube is made for one reason. The viewer leaves with something they did not have before, and you need to map that out for them and give them a step-by-step or some type of visual or an explanation of what they are going to receive after watching your video. And obviously this has to be some sort of value so they can stay for the whole thing. And a bonus I'll add here is you want to add, like, not scarcity, but you want to add a sense of stakes of, like, why them not listening to what you're about to share has them missing out on an opportunity that has made you tons of money. So that's something that I like to tie in as well. It's really stakes, not really scarcity, but it can be positioned as scarcity if you see it as that as well. So after you have the hook, it then goes into the body of your script. And you can see we've generated nearly 3K just off the free course video. That's just on YouTube ad revenue. We're not going to talk at the back end of sales. This client has definitely made over 6 figures by just posting YouTube content and funneling people into his low ticket community or high ticket community. But I just want to break down the body of the script. As you can see here, the retention is pretty solid because this is a 30-minute video damn near, and people are still staying for majority of the video. So how do we make that happen? So like I said, you want to list out the sections in your video that you're going to be covering, but for each section, you want to have a part where essentially you're going to come down here and you're going to break down, boom, I'm going to set up the topic that I'm talking about. So basically just bring up the topic to life. Like, I'm going to be talking about this in this section, but the mistake that a lot of you make is that you're essentially giving the value that the viewer is coming for way too early without first, introducing the topic. Then second, bringing tension or context. You want to give context and give tension to why they should actually listen to you before you just give the knowledge. Because if you give the knowledge up front, people are going to think they know it all, and they're going to go ahead and just be like, okay, I can just go ahead and action this. I don't need to listen to this guy's video. So you kind of have to kind of take them through some storytelling techniques to be able to get your point across. And you can do this without being cringe. I'm going to show you how to. So you have the setup. From the setup, then you're going to bring in tension. After you have the tension there, then you resolve the topic and you have the resolution. You want to basically do this for every single part of your body when it comes to, explaining a section. There's very few exceptions where you don't want to do it. And now that we're in the body of the video, this is the perfect time for you, to flex client results. You want to show everything you've gotten, case studies, testimonials, numbers, etc., etc. This is where you can flex it subtly. You don't want to hard push it, is what I've seen, but definitely, mention what you've done, because it's a good thing to mention what you've done, and people can tell that you're not lying. If you want to do a CTA though, the best way that I think it is done is by, you want to tie it back to whatever you're already talking about. And I can show an example of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about setup, tension, resolution, and also for the CTA. So I'm going to explain that here. And after every section, after the resolution, there's one more secret thing that you want to do, and that becomes the loop. And essentially, you want to loop into a new topic. So I say, now you've got the foundation of this clothing brand stuff down. No great brand has a bad foundation, so you're slowly building up to being able to make over $1 million from your brand like I did. Now it's time to get into the actual strategy and more complicated part of the game. And then boom, we link them into step 2. I'm going to show you how to make a call to action. I'm referencing back to the e-commerce script now. So, so in the script, I was saying, although things were going well at this point, I promise it wasn't just a walk cake to success. I had countless nights of sleep. I was losing money in the process, not even profitable at times. And I literally got scammed out of $4,000 even. And then this is how we CTA off of that. Once again, you want to tie it back to what you're talking about. That's why I don't trust most of these gurus. So instead, I started my own program, Ecom Warts. So a objection that the audience might have is that, a lot of ecom guys are scammers out there, and it's true. So we want to position ourselves like we're not a guru, and we created our own program to save people from, tapping into those other ones, which I only work with people that have ethical businesses. So all this stuff is true. Like, I'm not lying about it. So, which is help people like you who were in the same position as me to make money with brand and dropshipping. And we have tons of students winning. And then, boom, we're just going to flex results. Like blank, who did blank amount of money in time frame. It's key that you mention the revenue or cash collected that, has occurred. And then we go from here because it's a My Store video. So I say I will still be showing you my branded dropshipping process A to Z. But if you're interested in further guidance, click the first link down below to work with me one-on-one to make 10K per month in the next 30 to 90 days. Then let's get back into it. So you see how that CTA, it's more natural and not like forcing the viewer to, go buy your program. Last but not least, something else I want you to take away is throughout your bodies, you want to side quest a viewer, give them stories, give them stats, and you technically want to do this throughout the setup and the tension. This is where you're going to be able to, bring them on a side quest right before you resolve it. Once again, you do not want to give the knowledge right away. You want to give some context, see why they should actually listen to you, and then you can give away the sauce. As you finish out your body, the ending of your video is not super complicated. Just end off in a way that, first of all, you can obviously tell the audience that you have an offer. If they made it to the end, they're most likely going to want to buy your stuff. So position it like that, and then just make sure it ends off in a smooth way. And even directing them to go watch another one of your videos is a great way to end. I've talked about that in my past YouTube videos, so make sure to go check that out. But I want to get into, what really matters. And if you don't nail this part down, people are not even going to click on your YouTube VSL to watch it. And that really comes down to packaging the title and the thumbnail of the video. So this video right here obviously was successful, collected tons of cash from my client, but it comes down to, leveraging this process right here. So once you have your idea as far as like what you want to do for the idea, you want to go ahead and go on YouTube and see if there's any, other proven formats of people that have done similar things that you can take inspiration from for your packaging. If you look at these all right here, I did not come up with all these formats from scratch. I've all leveraged them from previous successful videos, either inside their niche, in an adjacent niche, or just somewhere broad on a different side of YouTube, maybe even the entertainment side of YouTube. And I leverage these title formats and thumbnail structures to be able to, have a video that is proven to work, but now is unique because I'm implementing aspects of my client's story, their numbers, and what they've accomplished. So you want to do the same thing for your video. I do want to say though, one thing that you want to have stand out in your stuff is having the desired outcome of your ideal customer be in the title and the thumbnails, to be honest. So right here, you can see it says you right now, and then after watching it has 10K. So then after watching it has 10K, 10K is the desired outcome of the audience. And then the title is the formula to make 10K per month as a beginner in 2024. Third is curiosity. So you want essentially, the only way you're going to get a click is you actually make people curious, to want to actually click on the video, right? So with this one right here, it's just human psychology. It says like after watching, you're going to get to 10K per month. So the audience starts thinking like, okay, what does he have to share that after watching this video is going to make me 10K per month? And how I like to think about it is the thumbnail gets the attention. So everything right here, the first thing people are going to see is this little box right here. They're not even going to think about the title. They're only going to think about the title if the thumbnail gets their attention. Then once they think about the title, they're going to read the formula to make 10K per month as a beginner in 2024. Then boom, that's going to make them click, especially because we have beginner being in here, which means it's open to anyone. It's something that anyone can do. So that's how I think about packaging. And once you have your idea, once you've gone ahead and scripted it, this is how you want to package your video for it to actually make sense. And if you want to do the same and add over 6 figures just by posting organic YouTube videos, we've done it for tons of clients. 115K in 150 days for the growth partner, multiple 6 figures collected for Julia. Max, we've generated him over 6 figures as well. Client case study interview with him was just posted. Ramin, case study client interview coming out with him, but he made $10,000 in just one video and definitely going to be in the 6-figure range after we run that case study. So if you want to do the same, just click the first link down below to book a call. Other than that, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.